Hi everyone, hi. Today I want to do a video specifically on the curriculum plan related to MOE standard on citizenship and character education. This is one of the parts I struggle with a lot as well, and this video I will specifically cut short your time and make sure you save a lot of time, because I'm going to give you the exact source that I use to derive at the final submission, so that it really saves you time, because I went through a lot of trial error. I did a lot of research before I finally...
Mommy didn't do so much
No,
research.
I did. And finally I got to the point that it is satisfactory to the assessing officer. So because of that, I really think it can be a struggle for people who are new as well. And last week I did the curriculum plan on the core subjects, which is English, Maths, Chinese or Mother Tongue, and Science. But today, this specifically is like part 2 of the curriculum plan, but specifically related to the citizenship and character education.
McDonald's Happy Meals.
And the other second part of it, because it's not so long, second part of it is I want to talk about the resources, how I arrived at the resources used.
Let's start off first with the citizenship education. This is very important. This is one of the areas that the Ministry of Education really want you to cover very well in the curriculum plan. So getting this right will give you a lot of good impressions. So this is the Ministry of Defence website, and specifically if you scroll down to there's a total defence section. There are 6 pillars of total defense, and because for primary education there are 6 years, so what I have done, in fact this is a suggestion from the assessing officer, is that each year focus on one pillar of the total defense element. So for example, in primary 1 I've chosen to just focus on economic defense, and so one of the areas is, of course, you need to learn about money, learn about savings, learn about how can you use money as a defense mechanism to ensure, right, that we are not that we have the capability to survive and not being easily attacked by our enemies. And this is the same as well in the context of country. Yeah, and the good thing about the Total Defense website and the Ministry of Defense as well, they actually give resources for students, so including homeschool children, we can use these resources for free. You should definitely check this out. Now, this is on the character education part. It is not difficult to talk about character education, because if you got the books, then you can look at it, and it's basically what values you want to inculcate in your children. But what is the key is to ensure that you can show progression from one year to the next. So I've actually found this, and this is from Orchard Meadow Primary School. You can actually see the link up there. You can actually find it yourself. They have actually done a very good job in showing progressively the key elements or key values that they want to cover. And I think these are the values that I want to inculcate in my child, right? And it has also a lot of important topics like knowing how they are very aware of how their body changes over the years and what has the impact on themselves, how do they feel, and so forth. So they've shown a progression over the years. Next one, I want to move on to the resources you can use, because you have to list down the exact resource, exact book title, exact book title that you're going to use. So first thing, definitely start from the Ministry of Education, because they have a list of approved textbooks that so basically all primary schools or all secondary schools will use this, right? And you will see later, for most subjects, there is a very clear list of resources that you can directly use. And so you can directly copy the title. So you can click on this link, and then there will an Excel file will appear. And here basically you can enable editing, you will see they have title, they have which year, so you can, to make it easier if you're doing primary 1, just select only a filter for primary 1 books, and then go to the subject that you want, right? This is going to be the easier way to actually list out your resource, right? So for example, you want to start off with so you can see there's a full list of subjects, and you can scroll down, and then later on what you can do is specifically just pick one, and then you can see what are the books that they use. Now this one is going to be very, very handy. You can take this for all your subjects for all the years from primary 1 to primary 6. So this is the easy job. But what is later you still need to do a bit of work is the English, because for every subject there is a very clear list of textbooks, but for English there's no specific set of textbooks that the Ministry of Education recommend. So because of that, we have to do a bit of research to see what books are suitable for our child, and I'll show you exactly later. So but just give you a preview first. So here you can see, even for storybooks for Chinese, and I believe for Malay and Tamil, mother tongue subjects, the Ministry of Education actually gives you a list of recommended books as well. So definitely use this first, and then of course, in addition, you can list out additional resources that you plan to use for your child, right? Maths, you can see everything is there basically. Now, just now I told you, if you want also to make sure you cover all the bases, or you want to make sure what other resources to use, so you can look at reputable schools. So for example, Singapore Methodist Girls' School is one. You just type in Singapore Methodist Girls' School book list for primary X, so you can see normally the reputable schools, they will list down their book list for each of the years and the most recent one in their website. So definitely look for this as you doing your resource list, because sometimes they will also tell you what additional textbook that they recommend. So these you may also want to consider to use for your child, because these are good schools, so the resources they use are naturally much better as well. The thing which the ministry doesn't tell you will be, for example, when it comes to maths, they need some tools for maths, manipulatives, geometry sets, and in which year. So this definitely you should refer to this kind of reputable school. So I'm just giving you Methodist Girls' School as an example, but of course I've seen as well there's ACS, Anglican Anglican school. So, and anything else that you want to use, you should definitely, at least, I've shown you one example, you can use this as a reference to look for other reputable examples. Next is I want to talk about the English books. What do you use? So I managed to find this resource. It's from Aitong Primary School. It's a bit old, but I think it's still quite relevant. They literally list down for primary 1 and primary 2 what are all the English books, and these are fictions mostly, because for primary 1 and primary 2 normally you read fiction that they recommend the children to read. So it is a very, very long list, but definitely you can use this to give you a reference, right? And you can also then choose from here. This will be a very good start, because I think they cover a very wide area. I've even seen that they cover books used by the Sunlight curriculum as well. Sunlight curriculum is a very popular, very well-received curriculum for English by homeschool parents who are very experienced, because I am in the community. I've met them. They speak very, very highly of Sunlight curriculum, and I've seen the books for primary 1 also in this list. So that's why I think it is a good list to start off. They also have primary 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Definitely you can use this as a start. Of course, you can do more research later.
Right, so okay, so that's all I have, and I hope you find this helpful, and thank you so much for your time.
Wait, don't end the video.
Right.
Don't end the video.
Okay, bye.
No, don't end
Say
the
bye.
video.
是有微信吗？
Don't end the video.
Bye.
So bye.